No, no problem, Val. So the first thing is just to let us know how your project's going. So you'll say, hey, I'm Val Harris. I'm from Lewis and Clark. How your project's going? And then if there are any meeting topics that you would like us to go over during these Wednesday webinars, please let us know. So we look at this time on Wednesdays as a time for you guys to say, hey, this is what we're really struggling with. This is what we need more guidance on. And then we can make the trainings and these webinars around that. So those are like the 4 key things to think about when you're reporting out or sharing out. All right, do we have BCS, City of Peoria, Lewis and Clark, or Mantricon on the phone?
Sabrina from Lewis and Clark is here, but Val is calling in right now, and she wants to report out.
And I'm here.
Okay.
I thought we were waiting on Peoria. Sorry.
All right, whenever you guys are ready.
Okay, so Lewis and Clark. This is Val, and I'm still kind of trying to think about meeting topics, but I think we're doing really well. We're finally getting, not finally, I mean, we worked really hard with our partners to get clear on, the process for getting applications into WorkNet and then getting things into IWDS, and I think and having all of our documentation in place, and I think that is set, and we're good. We've got that, and that's been a kind of a big learning curve for us. We have 25 students and I think that we're at 25. There was one student still hanging out there, but I think she's set now, but I'm not 100% on that. And we've been doing a lot of doing some co-enrolling with our Madison County partner, and so that our Youth Career Pathway students are co-enrolled in Madison County for work experience, and that's been really exciting. We've been adding work sites that are pertinent to their learning and their pathway when we can. So we have a couple of work sites, and we have multiple sites within, like at the college location, and I think we have 16 young people in work experience right now, so that's pretty cool. Let's see. We're modifying our statement of work to add a health science pathway, and we're almost done with that. And I think that's a pretty good update for us. Anything you want to add, Sabrina?
No, I think that was good.
And then as far as meeting topics, go ahead.
No, I had a quick comment about, so the modification, are you guys turning that in today?
Yes. Well, the trouble, you know what, Tara, it's like the statement of work, there's like one place that I need to modify. It's real easy. It's finding what I need to send to you guys that adds the credentials and all of that. It's because the statement of work that I'm working off of doesn't really have that in there. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, but let me ask you this, are you modifying your budget in any way?
Oh, no.
Okay, so it's just the scope of work change?
Yeah, yes.
We just need the scope of work. We just need you to update, and you can put in red, since you're adding a line.
Okay, it's really easy then. It doesn't, okay, I'll just send that, but you'll see what I'm saying. It feels like not enough. I'll send it, though. We can go from there.
No, yeah, but put all the information in there. So you need to say that you're adding a health science field. The credential will be a CNA license. It takes 16 weeks. We will start the classes on May 1st. They will end. So we need all the meat and potatoes in there. It shouldn't be just a sentence.
Okay, we'll see our scope of work. Okay, this is where I get hung up, but it's the way our scope of work was written didn't have all that detail in there, so I can add it, though.
Yeah, just add it. That way it's in there now.
Okay, that's good. And then as far as meeting topics, wow. Are you guys involved in the Illinois Youth Task Force? Um,
You are joining the meeting.
of course, now there's people
Invalid entry.
mowing the yard outside my window. Is that really? Can you guys hear that? Is that bothering people?
No.
Okay, good. I wish we could have a face-to. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. We were talking about meeting topics.
Yes. Is there any way to have a face-to-face meeting? I know it's hard for everybody because we're all across the state. It would just be nice.
That's going to be the challenging part, is to get everybody in one location. And then the cost of travel for everyone would be an issue as well.
True.
But that is something that that we should think about. And I am making note of that. So that'll be something that I see what we can do. Maybe we can do like one of the things Natasha was talking about yesterday, maybe a Springfield meetup and a Chicago meetup, and then maybe we can figure something out.
Yeah.
So we can at least see each other and all that. So that's something we can think about logistically. But like I said, the traveling cost, I mean, for all of us to, if you're in wherever,
right,
driving an hour for an hour meeting is kind of like not a good use of time and money.
We could host each other. I mean, we're not all that central, but we would be willing to host people here. I wonder if there's somebody that's a little more central that would be willing to do that. It'd be a dual purpose, kind of seeing another site, and it wouldn't cost, the same expense. But one of the things I don't want to hog it, but I'll say this and then try to be done, but I wonder how people are doing with their youth ambassadors and that part of the grant, and to, just to share about how we're, using youth voice in all of our programs.
Does anybody have a comment for Lewis and Clark? And are you saying like the design of your program or?
Yeah, I mean we've got a group that meets. You know, our youth meet every Monday and kind of plan together. We've had some focus groups with the youth. You know, we've done quite a few things. I just wonder how it's going for other people. It's kind of a hard thing to keep going, especially when a semester ends and starts again.
Right.
And did you guys hear me say that there's that Illinois Youth Task Force hearing down here in May, on May 14th in Granite City at the SWIC campus?
No.
Because I wonder if our programs should be aware of that, because we're trying to that's where we would like our youth to have a voice to talk to legislators about what they need in their programs and that kind of thing.
You said the 14th?
Yes, and it starts at 9:30, and it's at the SWIC. I could send the flyer to you, Tara. You want me to do that?
Okay, and I'll send it out to everyone.
Oh, that'd be great. Because
Right,
they'd love to have.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
I'm okay.
No,
They'd love to have a lot of people there. Now, shut up.
All right, so let me go back up. Do we have anybody from BCS on the phone, yes or no? Awesome. Do we have anybody from City of Peoria on the phone? All right. We did Lewis and Clark Mantricon. All right, moving on to Manufacturing Renaissance. And Methodist College.
We're here, Tara, but it sounds like there's a lot of people that are still not on the call. So our update is that our apprentices are approaching the end of the semester, so of course there's a lot of scurry and fury happening right now. And they'll be wrapped up in about 2 weeks. They've got their classes for the summer and the fall semesters set up, so they're excited about that. And I think for the group, what I'd like to hear is how other organizations are building up professional skills with their students. So if it is things like punctuality and dress and just how to act in a professional demeanor, I think we could use some help in those areas.
Hello.
Uh-huh.
Hi, this is ISAT with Manufacturing Connect. As far as the question that was asked about working with students around punctuality, dress, things like that, one of the things that I do with my students, because I come from an HR background, is really work through them with a point system. So I offer basically like college level courses is what I kind of imagine it for them as, like the equivalent of if you were in school at college level. And every week they have a listing of different courses that I have, and they come in and we cover different topics. And then I have the students role play, or I have the students put themselves in the position of a supervisor, where they can kind of really conceptualize what would this look like if you did this in a work environment. So if you were a supervisor, we have an example of an employee coming late all the time. How would you handle it? How does that affect your business? What does that mean to you as the person who's in charge? And that, I found, has really helped my students to understand the concepts more on a personal level if they were the ones having to make the decisions, versus just kind of like on a consequences level of like, you should do this, you should do that, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that.
I like that. That's a really good idea. For us, because we are a college, it's then how to incorporate that in either embed it within our existing curriculum, which can be difficult for our program because we don't quote unquote own all of our classes. But I'm wondering if we could do something like that in our weekly meetings and work with HR professionals that could help us polish some of those skills.
And
Yeah,
just
I
so you
mean,
know,
and you're welcome to reach out to me because I have my master's in human resources, and I previously, before this role, was head of HR for a couple of targets in Chicago. So in terms of bringing it to real life, that's kind of how I've done it, is kind of put them in a position to be the decision makers so they can understand the whys behind what these guidelines, rules, expectations are for in a work setting.
That would be great.
this is Natasha. Also, as well, I mean, I think that that's perfect for the, informing them and telling them, and so they understand the whys and hows. But also, Online WorkNet does have the observational evaluation that's available in WorkNet, and it was designed and used in Chicago Public Schools, designed for a training learning environment, so that they can, evaluate those types of skills, not their knowledge of the skills, but their ability to perform those skills. So their ability to show up to class on time, ability to work with a team, ability, to communicate, those types of things. Those are all, that evaluation is available in Online WorkNet, so all of you have access to that on their assessment tab. And you can have your, if you have whoever you select to have do that, we can give them access to those tools in Online WorkNet, and that evaluation can be completed in Online WorkNet and saved with that customer's account. And whenever that evaluation is completed, then the customer, the student, knows that that information is saved in their Online WorkNet account, and so they get that feedback. So it's really designed to use a classroom environment as a place to show them the types of things that your employer is going to evaluate, put them in an evaluation. And it has the rubric built into it, and so you can give them feedback over time as a learning tool. Okay.
That sounds great. Thanks.
All right. The next group is OAI.
Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Hi, this is Sandra from OAI. Our program is doing very well. We are now in the phase where we're taking the students to manufacturing internship sites. So they're doing the tours now. We're getting ready for the end of the semester when they will actually start their internship. So that is why I am the one giving the presentation today. Not done because he's out with the students on internship tour sites. So outside of all of them doing very well, we've had some challenges with the in-school group, because that group is we got all of them are actually from the alternative school, so they're coming into the Rich East as part of this program in order to graduate. So they've done very well, but the question or the area that I would like for us OAI to gain some insight from others is, if anyone's worked with this target group, and if so, what are some cool ways of getting them to get more credits? Because outside of the program, the DCO funded program that these kids are very excited about, the regular school, they really are not. So there's the concern that they might end up not getting enough credit from the other classes. So we kind of wanted to know how to navigate all of that.
Okay, does anybody have any feedback?
So it's a unique experience. We're doing very well with them in terms of them wanting to be part of this. But in terms of everything else, so they are coming from the alternative school and coming into Rich East so they can graduate, right? Outside of this CEO program. They like coming to the Maker Lab. They like all these stuff. They actually all pass the OSHA and forklift certification. So they love the hands-on, all these activities, but we still have the problem of would they be able to actually complete and get their credits from other classes in order to, graduate. So,
Right, and you
so
guys
those
are
are the
actually
two
over
things
your
we're dealing
numbers
with.
too.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, you guys are doing great. The program's doing really, really well. That is the challenge, though, that I hear throughout the city as far as the grants that I look at, is that but it also is what type of learners are these children. So it sounds like you guys have a lot of tactical learners who need the hands-on experience. And so I'm not sure if the traditional classrooms are doing that type of learning as far as having the hands-on and things like that. But that is a challenge within teaching too.
Yeah. Right. So I guess, one of the thoughts that have been going through my mind is how we blend what we're doing with what the other teachers that are not part of the program are doing. You see what I mean? Like, there's got to be some way of blending it all together, so that way they incorporate tactile learning as part of, for instance, teaching English. So yeah, that's really, so that I see these kids and I know they are doing so well. So that tells me that if they had this opportunity earlier on, they probably would not be in the alternative school in the first place. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Right. Yeah. That definitely can be true. Thank you for the update.
Thank you.
All right,
You're
we're moving
welcome.
on to Peoria Public Schools. Michael, I'm kind of confused by your comment, so can you tell us what you mean in the chat box?
Sure. Sorry about that. I was having problems getting on the call here.
Okay.
I guess, with same thing with Dr. Setti, we're having that same issue regarding our students not being prepared to enter the workforce, and we can call them employability skills, soft skills, whatever it might be. And we've reached out to Caterpillar to act, because they're a large employer in our region, and said, what do you guys do? And they have provided us with a training program that they received from the career tech programs in the state of Georgia. And it's a 10 course program. So they try to do it over with their apprentices coming in when they start. So we have students going to Caterpillar doing internships, and they work with these students 1 day a week on these 10 modules.
Do you have an email or anything that I can send out to everybody? Is it something that you need to pay for? How does that work?
It's actually a paper-based product. So it's something that they created in the state of Georgia with employers down there. And I have it, so I can scan it and send it to you if you'd like to see it. And you can share it with everybody.
And I can attach to the email, because I'm sending one out with the information that Val provided, and I can attach that to it too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you. So how's the program going outside of that?
We're doing very well. And again, we've, thanks to Dr. Setti at Methodist, we've partnered with them on helping our CNA students get credentialed. We currently have 5 students that have passed their CNA exam, and 4 out of the 5 are actually in paid employment right now at our 2 hospitals in Peoria, and they're still seniors in high school.
Awesome. For the people that hopped on late, that just made me think about it. I just gave a quick update. The quarterly reports are due 4:30, and they include the date of January 1st through March 31st. It just made me think of anybody that hopped on late. And then for anybody that needed a modification, please, we have to have those in today because we are wrapping those up at the end of the week.
So as far as a modification, and that's what my question was going to be to the group, you had asked probably a month ago, if we wanted to extend the end date of our grant. And you asked that, and kind of just said, would you be willing? And we said maybe. Would that be
Mm-hmm.
something that we would want to put in there? Or is that just sure?
Yeah. So what we're talking about, so you can extend these grants until June of next year, 2019. But remember, the year of follow-up has to be included. So
Okay.
if I'm an organization and I will need to use money to do the year of follow-up, I'm going to want to stop my grant, as in stopping, everybody's enrolled, everybody has their credentials, everybody's good to go, we're working on employment piece, but stop that piece so I can have the year of follow-up from this June to next June paid, if that
Okay.
makes sense, right?
Yes.
If you don't, and you're an organization that says, look, we really need to hit our numbers, I need all the time in the world, I'm going to extend my grant all the way to 2019 as recruitment, you still have to do that year of follow-up, and that'll be 2019 to 2020, if that makes sense.
Okay. But would we do that as part of this, or is that just automatic? That's
Yes,
what I'm asking.
you need to let us know what you need. So
Okay.
if you're one of those organizations that says, hey, we have all our people, we need to know that. And if you want to send us an email, if you're not changing your scope of work, that's fine. But if you are, we need to know. But send us an email, include me and Tammy on there, and let us know, hey, we're one of the organizations that we're going to use the entire grant period up until 2019 for recruitment. Or look, we're stopping our services, and I need to make sure the follow-up services are covered under this grant as far as, financially. So I'm going to stop our services June, and I will do the year follow-up under the grant period.
Okay. Yeah, and I know we
Okay.
want to continue ours until June 2019.
As
I know
far
that.
as recruitment?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Well,
I thought you guys had all your people, though, because you have 50
let me
students.
rephrase that. It's not recruitment. The problem that we're seeing, and I just got off the phone, is when our students are able to get credentialed, they can't get credentialed until after the grant date ends.
What do you mean?
So, for example, our students can't get credentialed before December 31st, 2018.
Which all your credentials?
No,
For the CNA and the IT?
just for CNA.
Why?
That's just kind of how the program works, where some of our students are coming in September. That's the way we set it up originally. And we weren't...
Okay. I thought you said you had 4 out of the 5 that had their CNA.
We do, but our total number is like 40 kids.
Okay.
We have different students coming in at different times into this program.
Uh-huh.
So when we signed up for this, we were doing a first-year program with 2 groups of students, and then we were doing another group starting next school year. But
okay. What are you thinking that your target? What's your target number for you guys? Because I thought you guys were doing 50. We have a modification for you guys for 50.
Correct. But that's what I'm getting at. Half of those students won't come here until like August of 2018. That's our next wave. They're credentialed. Okay. They're in our program. They're already students in our program, but the way it's set up, they won't get credentialed until sometime, January or February of 19.
Okay.
And then if they don't get credentialed, that's what that is. I'm sorry to take up everybody's time on this.
No, you're fine. But I'm very confused because if they have their credential now, so on our document, it looks like you guys have all 50 of your students. You have 10 in CNA and 40 in, off the top of my head, I think it's 40 and 19, right?
And you're absolutely right, but what I'm saying is those 20 of those students, 22 of those students won't get credentialed until January, February of next year, which is after the grant date.
Okay, yeah, send us some time. Me, you, and Tammy got to get on the phone. We got to figure that out because the way it's presented, it looks like you guys have everyone in your program with credentials ready to go, and that's not the case.
Yeah, that's not the case.
So send us like 2 or 3 meeting times for tomorrow, and we got to figure that out.
Yeah, I figured as much. Okay, I'm glad I said something.
Yes, 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 yes.
Thank you.
All right. Next group, Phelan.
Yeah, I'm on the line. This is Natasha. So our numbers was to have 13 complete their certifications. So our first cohort, we had 12, and out of the 12, 10 finished all but one certification. So we had 5 that completed everything and 5 that only missed one certification. But out of the 12, everyone at least received more than 3. I don't know if that makes any sense. But as far as the certification part, I think that we are doing well on that part. Currently, we're recruiting for our second cohort, in which we'll be offering HVAC certifications. And with our first cohort, we are helping with job placement, and some of our youth are co-enrolled in our WIOA program, and so they're able to receive a work experience through that WIOA program. And so currently we have four youth that have become employed. 3 of them have gotten jobs in construction and have gotten cars so far and apartments and are working full time. So we're working on those other youth to help them get employed, and some of them need more help with soft skill training, showing up to work experiences, showing up to interviews, and so just doing more work with the other youth that are not employed yet.
Okay. And then for the youth that did not pass, when's the next time that they can test to get those additional credentials?
The way that our program was set up is that we had our instructors, and so the program was kind of already scheduled, so it wasn't a way for them to go back and make up what they've missed, because how we structured it, or even how we use our funding to pay for the program, is that their training was paid for. So if they didn't show up a day or left training early, they weren't able to make up that certification.
Okay. So you said so it's 5. So you only have 5 with credentials out of 12.
No, all 12 have credentials. What I'm saying is that out of the 12, 2 missed more than 2 credentials. We offered 5 credentials. So out of the 12, okay. Yeah, 2 missed 2, and then let's just say all 10 were certified in 4 credentials. I don't know if my email makes sense, but so 5 completed absolutely everything. And then the other 5 completed everything but 1 credential. And then the other 2 completed everything but 2 credentials. Does that make sense?
Right. Yes. But if we look at it, everybody that's leaving your program has a credential.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Wonderful. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Do you have any suggestions on any meeting topics you want to add?
No, I just think that the biggest thing is just those soft skills, but I'm just learning that it's not just a one-time thing. You have to keep pushing them and keep pushing them. Like one of my youth, she was the only girl in the program, and she started off very inconsistent, but I just kept pushing her. So I'm just learning that you just can't give up on them. If they mess up, they don't show up to a job, you can't just, let it be. You just have to keep working at them and asking them to come in and talking to them and kind of mentoring them. And so, if anything, that's been the biggest thing. But, for instance, one of our youth called us this week and said that she has an apartment now, she has a car, she's working full-time, one of the jobs that we helped her with. And so that kind of lifts my spirits up a little bit to see a young person that came in completely different and had nothing when they came to the program, and now they're doing well for themselves, with the resources we provided them. So it's just not giving up on them. You get mad, you get upset, but you can't take it personally. Just got to keep picking up the phone, keep calling, meeting them, talking to them, offering them another job, opportunity. So not really, just, yeah.
That's good, though, but that's a testament to the work that you do. That keeps you going when you get those phone calls. I do. Michael, can you make sure that we can share the form? So can you check with the organization that developed it and make sure that we can share out their, I know it's a paper copy, but share out the information that they created? And just let us know. We just want to make sure that we can. The next group is the Cabot group. Okay, next group is Youth Build McLean.
Hello, this is Tracy Polson. How are you?
Great.
Everything at Youth Build McLean County is going well. We had a visit yesterday from Lieutenant Governor Sangetti. She's really fun. So our students gave her a tour of our vocational training program and our school and talked a little bit about their experiences in the program and then also what led them to Youth Build. And we had some really great press that accompanied that. So it was a really good experience. Jennifer Foyle also attended that meeting yesterday. We have 49 students enrolled, and we have 30 students waiting to start the summer term. So we're excited about that. We should be able to wrap everything up in the fall. We'll have a small cohort of about 7 to 10 people. And our students are working through their work-based learning experiences. Our healthcare students, we've had 5 of those students have been extended offers of employment upon receipt of their diploma. So they'll be able to continue their vocational training until they complete the certification for that, and then also be working as, I guess, a nurse's assistant or a helper. And then once they earn their credential, then they can apply for positions with the same places that they're working at for their vocational training. So that's been a really helpful partnership. We also have been fine-tuning our enrollment process with CareerLink to make sure that we get all of our paperwork submitted to get our students in IWADS. We still have about 11 students, trainees that we're working to get certified through IWADS now, and we're continuing to work with them on that process. Hopefully that will be resolved quickly. And students are getting ready to wrap one of the project houses, and that will be going on the market for sale in a couple of weeks, which we're excited about because it was a real dump and now it's really pretty. Let's see. The IT students. I'm sorry?
I said, can you send us pictures? Do you have any before and after?
I can. Yeah,
Awesome.
I totally can.
And that's for any grant. Like when you guys, I know, I'm trying to think, Manufacturing Renaissance sent us photos of the youth when they did their spring break internships. And so if you have any photos or any great stories about your program, please share that information with us because that's information that we take back to the management team and we say, look, this is what the youth are doing. They're not just a number, you know, they are individuals out here. They're learning new skills. They're on jobs. They're working. And so that's really good information that we should share with the management team as your projects are, you know, evolving and all that.
Good. Yes, we're happy to share. We have pictures of a lot of things that we can pass on. Our students, the IT students, recently completed a project at the Boys and Girls Club where they cleaned up and updated the bank of laptops that the Boys and Girls Club's after-school programs use. So that's a tremendous savings for their organization, and a lot of our students have been involved with the Boys and Girls Club throughout their life, so it was a really good give back for those students to utilize the skills that they're learning in the program. Our business advisory group has been really, really engaged, which has been a really helpful tool for teaching those soft skills to students. They've worked as facilitators and workshop presenters for our students. It seems to be very meaningful for these employers and potential people that will be hiring these students after they leave the program to receive the information about job readiness directly from them. So that's a tool that we've been utilizing a lot. It's not uncommon for our students to see these hiring managers and people from different companies on campus quite frequently, so it's made them very comfortable with the process. And it seems like when they're with the program staff, they tend to be very program comfortable, which is a good thing. It's a very youth building thing, but it's not always a good thing for preparing people for professional life outside of youth build. So bringing in that external voice or that external trainer has been a really effective tool because the students, they're not as comfortable, they tend to act more professional and ready to receive that information because it's linked directly to opportunity. So that's been one of the tools that we've been using that's been very helpful. In terms of future project or future topics to discuss on calls, I do think it would be helpful if I could bring in some of my other team members. So if I know in advance, I don't really have any ideas for any new subjects. There's been some really good topics, and they've varied on what it is, on the different things you present on different levels. But I do think it would be more helpful for me to target some of my specific staff, like maybe my case management staff or my MIS staff, to come in and participate in those webinars, so that they can get information firsthand. And I'm like Val. I do think there's some benefits to face-to-face collaboration. And of course, Youth Build McLean County is located in the middle, and we've got a whole lot of space. So I could certainly extend that to the group, you know, as an invitation that if we needed a centralized training location, we're certainly open to that. But I mean, maybe if we did one day and we didn't have to do any monthly webinars because we covered all the topics, maybe that would be a good trade-out. I don't know. But anyway, just some ideas.
Tara, if you're speaking,
Okay, is there any other groups?
Hey, Tara. Yeah, this is ISAT with Manufacturing Renaissance. I was trying to call in and just missed it when you called for me. So based off of the internships that we had with our students that you just mentioned, of the 6 seniors we sent, 5 of them were told by companies that upon graduation that they would love to have them come in for full-time employment, either just through the summer to start and then moving from there, or for permanent full-time employment. So we're really excited for our seniors that were able to go on that internship because it's led to some job opportunities right after they graduate, as well as about 7 of the seniors that I work with for post-secondary college readiness have at least 2 schools that they've narrowed it down to. So I'm just working with them to really focus and hone in on which school is the best fit for their career goals and what they want to do. And then Ford actually reached out to us through the work that Jake is doing with Youth Guidance, our partner, and they are looking to give 2 full-time internships over the summer at the Ford plant, as well as World's Finest Chocolate has also reached out to us for a full-time job for a machine operator. So far with the 25 students that I work with, we have a lot of really great prospects and companies that have come on board. And just speaking to that soft skills, job readiness skills, you know, the work that we've been doing and I've been doing with my students, just bringing in that HR skill set that I have has really shown a difference in kind of how they see things and their behaviors in school as well as in the workforce. So of the students we sent, we had over a 95% success rate with attendance, punctuality, and dressed and ready to perform the duties. And they all passed with a 3.5 or higher on their evaluations.
Awesome. All right. Well, make sure, I said, when you get that information, send it over to us. So, like, as you're adding employers or anything like that, make sure we have it. That's for any group. When you add employers or when youth get jobs, let us know the employer, the wage, and how many students you're sending that way so that we can add it and share that information with our management team as well. I want to make sure I'm not missing any groups. So BCS, if you're on the phone, City of Peoria, Mantricon, or the Cabot group, if you're on the phone, or any other organization that did not present or want to share some additional information. All right. thank you, everybody, for your time today. We get a couple minutes back, and I will send out the information right now that Val sent as far as the flyer for the Illinois Youth Task Force. And then, Michael, if you could let us know once we have confirmation from the Georgia Technical School that we can share that information, I'll share that with everyone else as well. All right, if no one else has anything else to say, we can adjourn.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.